Good evening, Rusty enjoyers. I hope you're doing right, 'cause it's time for the predictions video. Yesterday, a few hours ago, all of these skins rotated into Rustor, and basically, in this video, we're going to go ahead and try and figure out which of these skins potentially might be the best investment for this week, which of these skins might help us walk away with some sweet, delicious looking profit. So sit back, relax, I'm going to start you up in. Right. I think we could all agree that this is a better Rustor compared to the previous week. I don't think anyone's going to disagree. But this is certainly a bit of a strange one. When you look at some of these skins, you might notice that they've been in a workshop for about, well, for example, Dragon Rage Jacket, that was in a workshop for 2 years. Apocalyptic Roadsign Gloves, that was in a workshop for over 3 years. And this Cargo Heli Barricade, that was in a workshop for almost 4 years. What's going on? I mean, I don't know. It's weird, it's strange. But recently, with all the Rustors that we've had so far this year, we have been noticing a lot of like extra late picks that have been appearing here and there. I don't know if this is going to persist into July, but be prepared for such a thing. I've personally been hoping for the likes of more hoodie pants and tier 2 and tier 3 skins. We've been going for a bit of a drought with that for some strange reason. I honestly have no clue why. But what I want to talk about now is you've got to look forward to next week. So July FORCEWIPE is next week, the July update with all the new content. I hope you're looking forward to it. But just to quickly talk about this past month, we have done an absolutely phenomenal average player count throughout all of June 2023. Our peak player count, awesome, 175,000. Average player count, 96,600. We've easily surpassed last year, which only did about 92,000 average throughout the whole month and only peaked at 161,000. But next week, with July FORCEWIPE, last year we did 182,000. I think we're going to easily surpass that. And then the average player count, honestly, the fact that we got the summer sale out right now and whatnot, and of course, in July, all the European kids should be out of school for summer vacation. I think we could easily surpass 100,000 average player count throughout all of July 2024. What do you reckon? And what do you reckon the peak player count would be? I have no idea, but I'm looking forward to it. So things are looking pretty optimistic. Keep that in mind. Now we have to go ahead and figure out of all these skins, what's looking to be potentially the best investment for the week. And I'm looking at the likes of the Junkernaught Garage Door. In terms of confidence, oh yeah, I do, I really do. But I am going to sit here and say, I do still believe it will dip below its Rustore price. So let me explain. Basically, this is transparent, it glows in the dark, very useful. As you can see, it's got that little window there that it can see through. Please consider watching my Rustore rotation video. I will be showcasing this and whatnot, and you can get a much better view and how you can incorporate that to be useful for yourself and whatnot. In short, a lot of people will be wanting that most likely. And we have great comparisons. So we could just go back to, well, late last year. What did we see? The Brutalist Garage Door. So scroll down over to here. Right now that seems to be listed at around $5. I mean, earlier it was. It seems we've got a bit of a straggler listing. And before that, we also had the likes of the Bombshell Garage Door. So as you can see over to here, this is currently sitting at $4.56. Well, we've got two stragglers here. If they disappeared, suddenly it's back up to just over $5. And it did peak up even higher somewhat recently at around $6, $5.50 to $6. That did very nicely. That also sold for $4, right? That did 28,800 subscribers. So that worked out very nicely. That right there is pretty much the exact same thing with what we have the likes of the Junkernaught Garage Door. And then over to here, we have the likes of the Bombshell Garage Door. This came out a year before the Brutalist one. And as you can see, this is now sitting here at $7. And yes, recently it did peak up at a higher price. That went up almost to $8 just a good few weeks back. But the point I want to get across is these garage doors definitely do suffer during bad times. As you can see here with the autumn fall seasonal dip in 2023, it was at a very nice high point in the summer, much like now, and then look what happened. Went all the way down to about just under $4. But of course, as time has gone on, it's been perking up and rising up ever so nicely. So when I look back over to here with the brand new transparent glow-in-the-dark garage door here, with Junkernaught Garage Door, I am fully well prepared that they very likely will be struggling at certain points, but do not be surprised by it, be prepared for it. So acknowledge this, with a smart buy order, anything can be a decent profit. And looking at that, I am under the impression, based on what I've seen with the likes of these other garage doors, so again, we'll look at the likes of Brutalist Garage Door, whilst right now it's probably around $5. As I scroll down, you can see that, yes, during the likes of the Easter dip, it did struggle. So post-Christmas went all the way up to about $7 at one point. During the likes of March, that was down to just below $3. All right, high point, low point. We very likely will be experiencing this all over again. Maybe not as bad as that, but you should be prepared for something like that at the very least. So, yes, that was still fairly new when that peaked back in post-Christmas time, early January 2024. But with this, What's on the horizon? What have I been yapping about so much recently? We have the dreaded autumn-fall seasonal dip. So last year, you know, we had some very good player counts during the summer, didn't we? We acknowledged that. But just a couple months later, it drops off pretty hard. We lost about a third of the player count. What happened? Kids went back to school. Autumn-fall season, it drops off pretty badly. But this is a routine thing that happens every single year. Now that you're aware of it, you have to acknowledge that usually around at some point in October, that is where most Ruskins will reach a new low point for that year. And then from then on, it will only keep rising up in price towards the likes of post-Christmas 2025, January 2025 is what I'm referring to. So yeah, be prepared for the idea that this very likely might dip down to a certain point. Maybe it'll be like $2.50, maybe even $3, where it will reach to that point around October time. Perfect time to jump in and make that purchase, and then watch it rise up as we enter January 2025. That is the expectation. That is my prediction, all right? However, what one factor could definitely, you know, affect the price of this, or rather the price of it on the Steam market? How many of these garage doors do you reckon will be bought? This is another instance where it's like, I don't like rushing in to make a purchase or an investment. I'd like to wait until Wednesday, acknowledge how many, you know, sales have happened, then make the choice. Looking at that, right? Looking at that, if we only end up with about 20,000 subscribers, I feel more optimistic for it. But I'm expecting at least 25,000, potentially pushing up to 30. It's only been a few hours. It has 3,000 subscribers, but I think it won't be as ridiculous compared to like what we saw with the Bruce list, which went almost 30,000 sales. We shall see. But do you understand what I mean in regards to, we have great comparisons, we've seen how the other garage doors have performed in the past. It will not surprise me in the slightest if it basically copies their behaviour. Because we know, Brutalist basically copied Bombshell. Not fully though, Bombshell had a very weird start. TikTok videos definitely helped it out, but with what we've seen over the past year with Bombshell, basically is expected to happen with the likes of this. So do not be surprised if it dips down in price, struggles a fair bit around October time, but with a smart buy order, you could probably be picking them up from a fairly cheaper price, and then from then on flip them over for a much higher price, you know, around January 2025. So cool. I acknowledge that whilst it seems to be working out quite nicely in the long term, yes, look at that around January time, look at that around next summer. Wouldn't be surprised if that goes up in the positive. That's the expectation based on what we've seen with the other garage doors. That's looking cool, but yeah, more of a long-term investment. And chances are, if you want to go further with your money, wait until October, then consider buying into it, or try and figure out a decent buy to put down when it's, of course, abnormal. It's an abnormal skin that will be appearing Wednesday night going into Thursday morning next week. Please consider watching the likes of my most recent abnormal barders video, which you can see right here, to get a good idea of how it all works. Watch the first 5 minutes, then skip to the barders. You'll get a good idea that abnormals are very, very helpful for the likes of us. Cool, we've got that understood. Right, so that was the skin I was mostly confident in. The next skin I will talk about is going to basically be the exact same thing, but in the long term, I wouldn't be surprised if it's perfectly fine. So I am going to talk about the likes of the Neon Small Seed Storage. Will that go below its rust-or price? Wouldn't doubt it. Yes, with the upcoming October period of time, much like this, it will struggle. It will suffer. But I don't know how much it's going to sell. So, of course, last week we took a break from the likes of the Neon Small Boxes, but you notice a bit of a problem here? Yeah, they've already started to dip down below their rust-or price. I warned you. Now, lowest point, I just said it a minute ago, October. When you look at all of these around October time and a few months' time from now, I won't be surprised that they're probably coasting around maybe just over a fair bit, just above $1. That is expected to potentially be their lowest price. That is the best time to jump in. So, if you're thinking, oh, I really like it, I want to buy one for myself, that's totally fine. But if you're looking at these as an investment, you're better off waiting until around October time. September, October, it's up to you. But yeah, that's where they're expected to go even cheaper. Less people playing the game, less demand for skins, lower skin prices, not too hard to comprehend. That is when you should consider looking at them. But if you just want to buy one for yourself, yeah, by all means, go for it. But if you're wanting to buy a whole bunch of them and attempt to flip them for a higher price in the future, yeah, that's the best way to go about it. So you're much better off just sticking with a buy order, is what I'm saying. What I will sit here and say, though, long term, will that be perfectly fine next summer? Will that be perfectly fine in about 2 years' time? Oh yeah, wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't be surprised that ends up being in a positive, much like all the large boxes. That took years to get to the points where they're at. But when they went through their first bad time, you know, their first dip, all of these did struggle as well. So do not be surprised in the slightest if these do too as well. Understood? All good? Perfect. So a smart barter is definitely the way to go about it, but in the long term, wouldn't doubt that it'll be in the positive. So cool. We got that all nice and understood. What else is looking to be fairly appealing? I am looking at the likes of the Apocalyptic Roadsign gloves, but I will sit here and say this. I wouldn't buy a lot of them. In fact, in terms of chasing after them with a barter as well, I wouldn't be like trying to get tons. So let's just get this point across. Apocalyptic collection is basically complete, but with a very random acceptance today. Yeah, it's essentially finished. There could be a jacket in the future, who knows? But look at all of this, you know, that's comfortably in the positive, that's comfortably in the positive, sort of, and then that's comfortably in the positive. But the very notable thing here, look at the tier 3. Why is that doing so well compared to the rest of the skins here? Well, that has the least quantity in comparison to the other core pieces. So you see these gloves here? Based on its current position, based on all these other skins ahead of it, I wouldn't be surprised if these probably sell a lot more compared to that. That very likely will probably, very calm, very tame, it might just barely do about 8,000 to 10,000 subscribers by the time we have the Rust rotation next week. And if that lines up perfectly with the likes of the tier 3 armor, that means chances are it'll just perfectly, just easily rise in value. Nicely, slowly, calmly. You get the idea. Don't expect a huge, insane profit, but I feel like that's probably one of the best skins that very likely will retain its value. Now again, smart thing is to wait until Wednesday, look at the sales then, and then make the consideration. Unfortunately, this skin is not abnormal, alright? That is not abnormal. You have to make a decision on Wednesday night if you want to actually jump in and buy them, or you could just consider, you know, doing a buy order. Will that still potentially be badly affected with the likes of the autumn fall seasonal dip? Wouldn't doubt it, but it's definitely something to keep an eye out for, right? So, I question you. Do you reckon Apocalyptic Collection's fairly in demand? People like to use it, the cool looking purple design and whatnot. If you feel confident in that, I think the gloves are something to look forward to. But keep an eye on it, don't rush into it, see how things turn out by Wednesday, then we'll make considerations. Sounds good? Cool, right. Those were the skins that I was reasonably confident in. I will sit here and say I'm 50-50 in the gloves. Now, all these other skins, it's going to be like 50-50, but then it's going to kind of slip down, leaning more towards I worry for it a little bit, alright? Okay. I'm now going to talk about the likes of the Dragon Rage jacket. This is awkward. What's awkward? Well, look at how many jacket skins we've had accepted so far this year, and it's only halfway through the year. And then compare it to the previous years, and you might notice a bit of a problem. Yeah, we've been getting a lot. And I wouldn't doubt that we potentially will be getting even more. But more specifically, as you look at these jackets, 1 black jacket, 2 black jacket, 3 black jacket, 4. When I first saw this black gold jacket, I thought, okay, wow, cool. Budget blackout jacket option. Because if you scroll down over to here you go. $10+. That was like 13, 14 when I last saw it. And, well, and again, when this came out, that was about a high price. But with so many cheaper options now, I'm not surprised to see that the blackout jacket's gone down in price a fair bit. And, you know, we also had a Twitch drop. So that was given away for free. So jackets used to be quite a rare sight to see. Suddenly, that's not, you know, no longer the case. And I'm starting to question things. So we have the cheapest one here at $1.31. Chances are that training jacket potentially will be getting even more cheaper. Don't be surprised if that happens. And that, of course, would very likely affect the likes of that. And, of course, the likes of this. This is selling at $2.99. That is pricey. But I will sit here and say it does look very nice. Okay? Consider watching my Rust rotation video, where you can see me showcase this in-game. It looks nice, especially, of course, with the rest of the Dragon Rage collection. But this is basically the last clothing and armor thing to look forward to in the Dragon Rage collection, as you can see right there. You've got all of the core pieces, the boots, the gloves, a bandana, and, of course, the jacket. There's nothing else that's going to really give that a boost. So do you understand the potential problems with the likes of this? All right, maybe there might be primitive skins, but still, I stand by the point of there seems to be problems and complications with that. I'm, like, very curious about it because it looks nice, and I kind of get the feeling that maybe it won't sell an absurd amount because, of course, $3 and everybody's probably already got the likes of a black jacket already. But I'm also very cautious, okay? Considering that we got much cheaper options and we had one given away for free, maybe people just won't feel the need to consider wanting to buy that. And don't be surprised if we see even more jackets in the future, and chances are, potentially, maybe another black one. So, chances are, I lean more towards I have doubts. By next Wednesday, I will probably just put down a barter and I'll just stick with it. Yeah. That would probably be the way I go about it. I'm sorry if that upsets you, but I'm sure you can understand the difference of what we've been dealing with the jackets this year compared to the previous years. Yeah. So, if you want one for yourself, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creator, keep them nice and motivated, keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. But for the Dragon Rage collection, I don't see much else for the likes of the clothing and the armour. So I'm just going to take a step away from that. Now, looking at the likes of the Chalk Menace Box, I have no issues with it, I have no problems, but we've had quite a decent amount of large box skins so far this year, and they haven't exactly held out very nicely. Take a look at that, and what do you see? How many of them are currently in the positive? Wha-bam. Okay, Shadowborn's doing alright, but the rest of them, not so much. We've even had the likes of the Pirate large box right there, sold for $2.49, now it sells for $1.50. Another black box. That also glows in the dark. That doesn't, alright? Is that a benefit to some people? Okay, they might appreciate it, but I'm pretty sure people would prefer a glow-in-the-dark box. Looking at all these other boxes here, some of them are doing alright, but quite a lot of them not so much. I am unsure. It's also not abnormal. I lean with the idea of, well, at the very least, if we do see more deplorables of this Chalk Menace design, okay, yeah, if they're accepted, by all means, cool, we've got a collection, there'll be more, demand for it, there'll be more investment, but I'm not sure if that's definitely going to happen. Don't want to sound mean, yeah, doesn't really get that many skins accepted. Props to you at the very least, Mr. Yeah, you got your second skin ever to be accepted, that's nice, that's cool, but do you understand, this might just be all by itself, and that very likely, potentially, might have problems because of that. So, smart thing to do, wait till Wednesday, see how many sales have happened. Of course, also, keep an eye on the workshop, see if he has made, like, a continuation. We'll have some hopes to see if it turns into a deplorable collection, but yeah, I do lean more towards, I don't have a lot of confidence in it, and yeah, we are getting closer to September, so we shall see. Cargo Heli Barricade. Okay, well, we don't really get that many but concrete barricade skins anymore, do we? But, yeah, then what do you use a concrete barricade for? Well, there you go. Do you understand why that probably won't be doing very well, along with the likes of these and these? Yeah, even though these were accepted like a long time ago, what are you using them for? Decorations? Okay, sure, fine, cool. And I will point this out, this is the first ever glow-in-the-dark concrete barricade. If you want to get a much better look at it, please consider watching my rust rotation video. But yeah, that's the only image I have to show. Sorry about that. But yeah, you get the idea. Right, so this was a really weird one. This was a really weird acceptance. Who would have guessed that we would have got that today? I assure you, nobody would have even thought of it. But yeah, this isn't like a super solid collection. Yes, we have a reasonable amount of deplorables, but they're a bit all over the place. Honestly, I do lean with the idea that that's just very likely going to go below its rust price and probably stay there forever. Chances are, most likely. How much will it sell? Well, that would help. But I'm guessing probably like the previous concrete barricades, probably around 10 to 11,000 sales. But that's like a very hard guess. I would not feel confident to give you a proper estimate right now, and I don't feel confident in the skin, so I'm just going to leave it. Sorry about that, but yeah, moving on. Stone hatchet from hell, and of course the pickaxe. We had some, regular tools being accepted last year, didn't we? And oh, I clicked the wrong thing. I meant to click the from hell collection. Yeah, down 53 and down 59. Glow-in-the-dark tools probably not the most in-demand thing that loads of people want to play with. Yeah, they glow-in-the-dark. You will be able to see, or rather, you will be seen at night if you're using them. Okay, that's awkward. Yes, I know, I'm well aware. But could they probably still fare a little bit better compared to the regular tools? Well, I am surprised to see stone hatchets, whilst they are, down below their rust price, they're not down as bad compared to, like, all the other hatchets and pickaxe skins. So maybe you could still do a fairly reasonable smart buy order, but don't be surprised if it still goes below its rust price. Plus, it glows, and again, people have a bit of a stigma. And you might be quickly wondering, but how much did the regular tool sell for? $2.49, and these, well, they're also selling for $2.49. Chances are a smart buy order will be the better option to go with. We'll see how many sales happen by Wednesday. I won't be surprised if we see less sales compared to the regular tools, so let's wait it out, but still, I think it's very likely going below its rust price. Now we can move over to the likes of here, Kitchen Warfare Bandana. No, I want to save you for last. You're a funny one. We're going to talk about the Royal Safari AR. I'm very sorry to say, but it's a perfectly fine looking AK-47, golden tiger striped, looking very cool, looking very interesting. However, AK-47 selling at high prices tend to not hold up very well. In fact, the most recent AK that was accepted sold for $3.49. Now it sells for $1.57. That was quick. And of course, we recently had the Augusta Bell AK-47 being given away for free, which was all bright, nice, shiny and golden. So if you really wanted one, you probably already have one. It was for free. And, earlier this year we had the likes of the Mythical Dragon AK-47, nice bejeweled with like gems and whatnot, all gold, sold for $3.49 as well. Now it's currently selling for $1.26. Most of the AKs, or well, Pretty much every single AK that came out so far this year, except the Thunder Gold one, has gone down in price pretty badly. Look at all the skins that came out last year as well, and you basically get the idea. The vast majority of these AKs will be going down pretty badly, but the ones that sell for these higher prices, they just do not hold out very nicely. So chances are, we'll just stick with doing a buy order. That's the smartest way to go about it. It's abnormal. We'll wait till Wednesday night. You get the idea. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, yep, yep. Right. With the Kitchen Warfare bandana, I am undecided. I don't necessarily see it too badly in a negative light, but I also don't really see it too much in a positive light. Okay, so this is a primitive skin. Cool, we've basically understood that. Now, as you can see with the likes of Rosato, recently he had his Colander Boonie hat being accepted. Now we have the bandana. But the weird thing is, this was only accepted by itself when it was supposed to come with a poncho. The poncho was not accepted. The poncho was funny. It's made out of pots and pans, lids and whatnot, and spoons and knives and forks, but they didn't accept that. I don't know what's going on there. However, I stand in this position, so as long as we still see more primitive skins being produced for this proposed Kitchen Warfare collection, if they keep getting accepted, you'll still see those skins spiking demand, spiking price. In fact, if I go over to here, Colander was dipping down pretty badly over the course of these past few days. Went down to just under $1 at one point. Guess what? With the continuation that appeared today, it got a buyout. Yay! So it was dipping, but then it started to go back up again. You can see that. It's not huge, but with more and more skins potentially being produced and accepted in the future, yes, I do feel confident that that very likely could be doing quite alright. But that $2.49 price... However, that very likely might lead to it not getting that many sales. And if we do, still get those continuations produced and made and accepted, that bandana might look pretty interesting. Oh yes, it will. But it's so all over the place. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to go about it, but it's abnormal. We can wait until Wednesday. We can make considerations. We can keep an eye on the workshop over the course of this weekend, see if any new interesting Kitchen Warfare skins are produced. You should get the idea by now. There have been 2 different ponchos produced. Maybe one of them gets accepted with the next week's roster, or the week after that, or the week after that. We don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. So, patience, very rewarding. Cool. So that was all the skins there. That was nice. Let's just talk about, on the horizon, what else is to be expected. Well, as I said earlier, next week, July FORCEWIPE, lots of interesting things to look forward to. Bikes. We also had the likes of Travelling Vendor. We also had the likes of Hood and Cuffs. It sounds like those 3 things feel certain that they're definitely coming out for next week. That's cool. What about the likes of the Radtown Redux? It looks like it's still being worked on. Probably will be ready for August. Alright, fair enough. Look, we're getting bikes. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be happy about that. Loads of people racing for the roads trying to find the bikes. Right, so, that's cool. What if I told you an interesting new thing was mentioned quite recently? Yes, I'm going to bring up crocodiles. Yep. So, earlier this year, we were told in a sort of roadmap blog post back in January by Facepunch that they intend to release a brand new biome. We are now seeing mentions of crocodiles. What or where do crocodiles live? Swampy, marshy areas, jungles, I guess you could say. Well, we've also seen mentions of tigers. Now, tigers themselves have not been mentioned that much somewhat recently, but we also started to notice panther assets as well. It says it right there. Okay, cool. Panthers eat crocodiles. They actually hunt them, I'm not joking. So... are we getting some sort of special, interesting jungle sort of biome potential in the horizon? Or are we just getting a zoo? I don't know. But something's cooking there. Why are they, working on these new animals? Well, time will tell, I'm afraid. That's all I can say. So keep an eye on the likes of the commits, and you'll probably get a very good idea of what potentially will be coming out on the horizon. So that's it. That's everything. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Please consider keeping an eye on the likes of the workshop for all those new skins that are going to be submitted. If you're interested and invested, you want to keep an eye out. And again, feel free to comment below how high do you reckon the peak player count will be with next week's FORCEWIPE, and how high do you reckon the average player count will be throughout all of July 2024. Things are looking very, very, very good. And with that, once again, catch you later. See you, goodbye. I meant to say thank you. I screwed that up. I'm Hedge. You probably should know that by now, so I'm stupid. Bye.